Hey gods and goddesses, we are having a grand trine in water. So we're talking about Pisces, Scorpio, and also Cancer. And they are exactly 120 degrees apart. So it's making a perfect triangle, yay. And this is happening from November all the way into December 2025. So this is a sacred alignment. Of course, it's emotional. Of course, it has to do with healing, intuition, remembrance, surrender, the home. Like when all three of these water energies are flowing in this trine, this is a harmonious, and this is also pretty rare as well. It's like the collective heart is going to open in yours as well, because we're all experiencing this, and I'm going to go over each rising sign. But the boundaries between different worlds are thin. We're able to empathize and sympathize with the next person, and our heart is really guiding us. And this is a season of like deep emotional honesty. The body becomes a little bit more sensitive, and the emotions carries a lot of messages and signals, and these are signals and signs from the soul. And even some chaos, right? Where we do have Scorpio in there. And so some chaos, from the past, and it is Scorpio season as well, moving into Sagittarius season. We're dealing with what has been numbed, what has been avoided, and what has been buried, underneath. And this feels very soft now, as it's coming up and coming to our enlightenment. It feels very soft and very tender, because this is the feminine returning to its center. And we all have feminine energy, yes, gods and goddesses. And so the universe is speaking through these sensations. It's these wave and oceans of emotion or feeling that really carries this wisdom of like, it kind of feels like an older time period or older paradigm. But those who choose to surrender to it, this current flowing energy, they will experience this profound renewal. These old timelines are definitely going to collapse, and karmic emotions are leaving. In order to make room for new, there's a deep trust in the divine flow that is awakening, and you must trust in it. This grand water trine is going to teach us that softness is not actually weakness. That to be whole, we really must feel, and we must allow these feelings to move us in some type of way. And there's no way to healing without feeling, because healing just means we are moving into an improved state. Healing is forever, for the rest of our lives. God bless our little hearts. But this trine is really trying to reconnect us with our emotional intelligence, our ancestors, our inner child, our hearts. And in this alignment, forgiveness becomes freedom, and empathy becomes your power. And as we're moving through this trine, or November and December, this is like a baptize for you, and even for the collective energies of emotional truth. And this is preparing you as a soul for your new spiritual cycle that's going to be happening in 2025. We have so many planets that are going to be in Scorpio, but also Saturn is going to be in Pisces, and also in Neptune is Saturn and Pisces is in the trine, as well as Jupiter is in this. So we're learning a lot. Like the lesson is letting go, and the lesson is letting it fold, letting yourself feel. Everything really starts to flow again if you allow these type of tides and oceans to move you, and they will move you. So really open your heart up to compassion, being more compassionate with yourself. Your dreams are portals during this time, and memories are so healing. Okay. And even when you are, because Neptune is involved in this as well, it's about dissolving the defenses, your defenses as well, not just letting anything happen, but making this room to reconnect to your innocence, to your intuition. Even your tears can be medicine, and they can teach you a lot. Not saying you're going to be crying all the time, but really open your heart to washing away anything that's in your psyche that is just there, that's just there and is causing you to not be able to heal. Even though you're going to be more sensitive during this time, these are messages coming through for remembrance of who you are, why you came here. And like, it's just so wonderful and blissful to have this trine during this time, and even the planets that are involved in this. Mercury's going to be involved. There's so many different ones. Mars, this is going on for at least 6 weeks. So definitely open up your heart into it, and definitely open up your heart to have deeper empathy for yourself, right? And so let's get started. We're going to start with Aries. Hey there, Aries. So Aries, don't forget to listen to the beginning of the video because I go over what a grand trine actually means and what it's going to mean for you. But let's talk about what it means for you specifically, right? Because, Aries are one of a kind. So we have this grand water trine for you, Aries, and it's just happening, as a perfect triangle, 120 degrees. And so this is a time that's going to bring emotional surrender. You must surrender to the currents, especially with Saturn going into your sign next year in 2026. This is really getting you to let those, emotions go that do not serve you. They do not make you weak, Aries. Feeling actually, it makes you honestly feel alive because you're able to let these things go when you feel them. You know how it feels, so you don't want to feel like that way again. So you kind of learn from it, right? And the thing that you have been resisting to feel, it's gonna show up, and it's gonna have this slowed momentum. However, these moments of like stillness for you, Aries, and these moments of people mirroring like your inner vulnerability, it's gonna start to heal you. Your need to act before healing, like that is honestly trying to ease your way into, so you become more empathy, like you have more empathy for yourself, for your for others, and you'll even notice that you have more empathy and you have this softer passion as well, and you're able to really forgive without replacing it with like old rage. So Aries, this is a really special time for you, as I said, because Saturn is going into your sign, so it's really best. And honestly, my best advice would be to let the old you go, and the old way of having anger towards someone, having any type of operation where you are more angry than the next person, or you're willing to do a revenge. Some things are not worth it. They're meant to help us grow, and you're going to feel so much ease into this feeling of emotional surrender. So this is a beautiful and harmonious aspect for you, Aries. So that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Aries. Hey there, Taurus. So Taurus, don't forget to watch the beginning of the video because I go over what a grand trine means. So let's go over yours specifically because, of course, Taurus, you are one of a kind. So this is an aspect that is making a 120 degree angle, which is a triangle, and it's flowing so effortlessly to you, Taurus. We're talking about emotional stability for you through change, through reflection, and you may be called to let go of something that you have clung to. This can be a relationship, this can be a habit, this can be a way of how you operate yourself, this can be the home, this can be a financial comfort zone. Only you have there's this it's bringing this to you light, Taurus, because there's something that you need to discover about yourself that is deeper than the piece that you always you thought that you wanted, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the discovering the deep peace that you have always wanted. You have to realize that that is actually inside you. You have been feeling like maybe this person, place, or thing, or even this comfort zone will bring you peace, but after a while it kind of doesn't. You realize that peace is actually within you, so you can expect to feel even calmer within the inside. Like you have this inner calm, there's this creative renewal, and there's this strong like center, like this strong heart, or this heart-centered value system that you start to build for yourself. Like your heart becomes way stronger because you're building this peace and empathy from within for yourself. Therefore, you can have it for the next person. And you have to realize that anything that you want and anything that you are trying to attract, these are things that are already inside of you. So you can't really attract anything that you aren't, if that makes sense. And and it's not even saying that, Taurus, it's just just kind of like anything that is reflected back to you, and anything that is like any type of change that you're going through, and even if someone is trying to leave you in a relationship, you have to realize that this is actually for your own good. It's meant to teach you something. And if people want to leave your life, it's really their loss, because you can't cling to a comfort zone, because it's not allowing you to grow, and growth is going to happen for you, Taurus, especially with Uranus going back into your sign as well. So you really want to keep that in mind, that this is just the last stretch to make you understand that you can feel good about yourself, and people will admire you for that, Taurus. So yes, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Taurus. Hey, Gemini. So Gemini, don't forget to watch the beginning of the video, because I go over what a grand trine actually means for the collective. But of course, Gemini, I know that you are one of a kind, so I'm going to tell you what it means for your sign. And of course, Gemini, we are talking about this grand water trine, right? And this is a 120-degree angle, and this is a perfect triangle, so it's very harmonious. It's flowing very easily to you, and not even easily, but it feels very opening. And we talk about communication, of course, when we talk about your sign, because your sign is a very mental, capable type of sign. Even you as an individual, you have the mental patterns that you have are just extremely fascinating and transformative. And so allowing conversations to become catalysts for your healing is really potent during this time, Gemini. Really think about these hidden emotions that you may have had when it comes to words. How we talk to people and they say something to us and it really arises emotion, but you think about it more than you feel it. Now you're going to feel it. And even things that come from dreams, words that come from dreams, words and conversations, you are now, like, your truth is now being shown back to you through the mental space. So it's like you're going to attract people who speak your truth back to you, like that mirror, and they're saying words, and they're saying these specific words that really send an alert to your intuition and to your mental system. Even if like someone says, you're this, or you're not going to be able to do this with your life, or something like that, but you realize they keep saying, like, people keep saying something to you, and it's like, maybe I'm not hearing that the right way, but what it would be is like, this person is the catalyst for your growth, for you to actually do that thing. Like, they're just meant to get you to do it, not for you not to do it, if that makes sense. Like, it could be a misunderstanding, right? And you have to really let that dissolve. And if you listen with your heart and not the mind, you can really get out what they're actually trying to say to you. They're saying, you have everything that you need to get it done. Why aren't you doing it? Some things that people say to us that sound harsh, and it sounds like, oh, wow, I can never get that done. They are the catalyst for us to grow and change. You're not meant to have any vendetta against them. You're meant to forgive them, and you're meant to move on with your life. Like, thank you for this lesson. It's now time for me to grow. The way that you think and speak are going to become, this intuitive magic. You're able to process emotions in your mind. And that right there is it's pretty grand in itself to have, even as an ability. However, if you can feel through it too, you can manifest the life that you actually want, right? Or the manifest version that you actually want within yourself. And we're talking about forgiving yourself, forgiving other people for not being as smart as you. And it's not even smart. It's like not intellectually matched with you. You can't make people smarter than what they are, and they can't explore your mind in order to find, knowledge, right? And that's just like what it is, Gemini. So you really have to be very forgiving with yourself. Listen with your heart and not just with your mind. And let this type of process move you into your dreams in life, right? Because we're talking about Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this is a fulfillment in some type of way, and it's going to fulfill you on a very, very deep type of level, okay? And you have to let it move you first, okay? Because the mind can be like a prison, and it keeps us thinking like, why did they say this? Why did they say that? They said this because I can be better, and I know I can be better. And the universe is trying to tell me I can be better. I can be better. Not that this person is better for me, but I can be better. And you have to really come to that conclusion on your own. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that makes sense, because I feel like I was over explaining, but I think that you get me, Gemini, okay? Like, you understand my mind better than I do. So I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye, Gemini. Yo, 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 Cancer. So Cancer, of course, you are involved heavily with this grand water trine. All claps for Cancer. I love Cancer. People, only a certain amount of people can actually deal with Cancer. And those are the special people, because Cancer comes from a point in time that we don't even remember, but they remember. They remember so many different things, memories, our childhood, like they are truly the ancestors, or they're the ones who create ancestors, and they create better and more deeper lineages. So within saying that Jupiter is in your sign, right, and it's exalted, and you're having this water trine, which is 120 degrees. If you haven't gone to watch the beginning of the video, Cancer, I would suggest you do that, because I go over what it actually means for a water sign, and you are a water sign, so it's going to mean so much for you, Cancer. 120 degrees apart, right? A perfect triangle. So of course you are one of a kind, as I'm trying to describe. You get me? And it is this like water trine is bringing this deep ancestral healing. It is a full emotional reset for you, Cancer. And you are going to feel waves of emotion or these vivid dreams about your past. And just think about it. When the moon is going to be in your sign, it's going to add even a more deeper flair, and this deeper inner knowing and deeper movement for you. So you really have to be open to these waves of emotion that talk about. And you can have vivid dreams even about your past, about past memories, about past people, even past lifetimes, Cancer. And it's up to you to decode them, of course, but remember, it's coming up for some type of reason. Think about your family patterns, think about your generational karma, think about your mother wounds, your mother and your father wounds. They're going to surface up in order for you to wash them clean. Let them flow in the oceans, because as I said, you come here as an ancestor, and so you remember what others do not remember. And it's very psychic, is very intuitive. It's almost like you don't know that but you're actually living that life. So you have to be very in tune with it. Like, you're being rooted into your emotional security and safety. So you got to be ready to nurture yourself as fiercely as you do to other people, and nurture and forgive yourself, and really look at yourself as someone like I would say like the water goddess, but of course like a high priestess, right? You're looking like you're looking like more than you just think. Cancer, there's so many things that as I keep on saying, that others don't know, and it's really going to come to light over these 6 weeks, 7 weeks. It's going to come to light that there's something that you need to remember, and you need to remember it about yourself in order for you to move forward. So definitely ground yourself, Cancer. Spend some time in water. I know if you are in the US, it's getting a little bit cold now, right? But definitely take a bath, put some salt in it, put some herbs in it if you need to. But baking soda, just focus on cleansing your energy away, and you'll start to have memories and remembrance of the self, and even helping other people remember around you. But remember, do it for yourself first, Cancer. Okay, so that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Cancer. What's up, Leo? So Leo, you are one of a kind. I just had to start by saying that, because I'm just like, Leos are the best. Can we even get any better? I don't know, but let's try, right? So this water trine is bringing us heart purification. If you haven't went and watched the beginning of the video, definitely go ahead and do that, because I go over what the water trine actually means for you, and I said what it means for water signs, but what it means for the collective. So it's going to be you included as well. I know we're not included. We stand by ourselves, right? But let's just think about the heart. There is this heart of the universe that is pumping, and that we're all connected to, and that our hearts are open to, and you, Leo, even more than others. So just think about purifying the heart, and that in the most softest and beautifulest way. I mean, I wish I had another word, magical, mystical. I wish I had another word to describe this, but really, because it's so internal, it's the inner world, only you can describe this to me, Cancer. But I mean, Leo, we're talking about Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These are water signs, and feeling so deeply, oh my goodness, you will feel a lot deeper than the other signs, except for the water signs. Of course, they're going to feel it the most, but you even more, because the sun is, in this trine as well. And the sun is going to be in Scorpio, and then it's going to go into Sagittarius, right? So you're going to face a lot of things. And let me not say it like that. Let's just say wherever you've been performing love, you're gonna face, because the heart is love. The heart is the highest vibration here, and wherever you have been seeking approval and seeking others to love you, or forcing yourself to love someone else, this is going to really be replaced by authenticity. Relationships and even people that you come into contact with are going to reveal the truth of your worth. And when I say that very lightly. Okay, but you do want to expect some tears. The reason why I say it so lightly is because when you start to realize, like, wow, it wasn't even that deep as I thought it was. I just wanted to be adored, or I just wanted this and that. It kind of is, a harder pill to swallow. So definitely expect tears, but that cleansing is going to really like replenish your pride and really help you understand, like, dang, like I am really heart-centered, and I deserve to carry this unconditional love, and you deserve to be loved unconditionally as well, Leo. So you're gonna rise and emerge, of course, more radiant and more real, and with this infinite amount of love for the self, most importantly. But you're gonna be able to connect with other people in that way because your heart is open. If your heart is open, Leo, we go through life and we close our heart. We're like, no, I'm not gonna let that come back into me. We rather be adored than, it's like, I'd rather you love me more than I love you. And of course, that takes away from the relationships that we have or that we build, or even our ways of connecting to people, because things are supposed to be unconditional. Like I said, you can love someone and still let them go. You don't love someone and then hold on to them just because they say that they love you, Leo. So that's all I have for you, Leo. I hope that was helpful, and I hope that made sense too, because I felt like I was over explaining, a little bit more than I needed to, but I just feel like I needed to hit some type of points. But really, do not think that this is going to be so harsh for you, because it really isn't. It's just going to be a release, but one that is extremely heart-centered, and I think that you're going to feel warm-hearted at the end of the day. Only you know how it actually feels to be warm-hearted, about yourself. And I think you're going to pat yourself on the back and really stand up, in your truest light, Leo. So yes, again, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful, Leo. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Leo. Hey there, Virgo. So Virgo, here we are. If you haven't gone to watch the beginning of the video, don't forget to watch that, because I go over what this trine means for, what this grand trine actually means. And it can be for water signs, but it's going to be for your sign as well, because Mercury is going to be in this trine as well, even though it's going to be in Scorpio. But you're still going to be included in this trine. And I'm going to tell you how, because of course, Virgo, you are one of a kind. So let's talk about this trine. For you, Virgo, it's bringing healing and surrender, and you're being shown where control or even order has become a way for you to protect your heart and to protect your emotions. I think that this trine is going to help you like release self-criticism, start forgiving yourself for not being what you want it to be, or not. And it's not even a want. What people expect you to be, Virgo, let's be honest about that, right? If you can't find the grace in imperfection, or you can't find the grace in not doing everything perfectly, or not having the answer for everything, or not having life in order the way that you want, then, you have to go back and kind of self-reflect. And that comes to giving yourself a lot of grace, forgiving yourself and those versions of yourself who didn't know enough, or people expected so much out of you. I think that this trine is making room for genuine balance and this, forgiveness of the self, even this emotional detox. There's a softer body that is going to happen, even a soul and emotional, and we have the physical body and we have the spiritual body. All of your bodies are now conjoining into one, and you're having a connection with all of them. I feel like the divine is teaching you, Virgo, to really trust flow over order, and to trust that you are right exactly where you need to be. And you were there yesterday and the day before. Like, I'm not saying that your life is mapped out and planned out, but there is a blueprint for your success or for your soul's development. So you should trust that and listen to the signs of the universe. Listen to the signs of your body. If your body shuts down around someone, if you feel anxiety around someone, if you feel anxiety doing something that other people expect you to do, it's probably not the best thing for you, Virgo. Of course, it becomes a self-reflecting thing, but you have to really surrender to the flow of healing. And this is like I said, healing is just an improved state, Virgo. So it doesn't, you're going to experience this for the rest of our life, but you have to godly give yourself grace, Virgo, because you are perfect. Your soul is made to be perfect, but you cannot expect that from yourself because you are living in a humanoid experience. And you can't expect that from others because they are never going to be perfect. Nothing is ever going to be perfect because we don't have all the answers to the universe. We just grow and we develop and we share what we think is best. Okay, Virgo? So that's all I have for you. And remember, you don't have to keep it yourself in order for other people to love you as well. You have so much to offer. If you have a Virgo in your life, and if you're listening to this for a Virgo, or you are a Virgo, just know that you are the blessing to the life of the other person. Like, you bring so much healing, you bring so much wisdom, you bring so much understanding, you bring so much calmness. And I would really love, like, everyone should have a best friend as a Virgo, or a wife as a Virgo, or a husband as a Virgo, because they're going to really open themselves up and give you pretty much everything they have in order for you to flow through your life. But you have to be flowing through life in order to give anything to someone else. And of course, your life is about service, and it is about you having the answers for the next person. I think during this time, you start to protect yourself a little more, protect your boundaries a bit more, right? Because, on the other side, you have Pisces, and Neptune and Saturn are in this trine as well. So you have to be very mindful of who you allow into your life. Be more serious about your boundaries. And if it is, you can't fix up everything, and you cannot fix up anything really, because it doesn't really need fixing. Things are how they are, and you don't even need fixing. And see, that's the thing where it becomes like you have to really emotionally detox, and you have to see the imperfection as being perfect, right? Godliness is close to godliness. Cleanliness is close to godliness, Virgo. So definitely expect clean. You want your surroundings clean. You want people clean around you. But as far as their actions and, their life choices, you don't ultimately dictate that. And that's okay, because you don't ultimately dictate your own. But in honoring your own journey, you can honor someone else's, and that's truly how you help and give that helping hand out, Virgo. So that was pretty long, but I hope that makes sense, Virgo. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Virgo. Hey there, Libra. So Libra, if you haven't gone to watch the beginning of the video, go ahead and do that, because I go more in depth about what this water trine actually means for the collective. But of course, I know, Libra, you are one of a kind, and I'm gonna go over your sign. So let's get started. Anyways, this grand water trine, it makes a 120 degree, and so this is a perfect triangle, and this is gonna bring emotional clarity within love, emotional truth within love. I think Libra has to do a lot with love and partnerships and other people, and even connecting with people. This kind of gives Libra risings, Libra moons, Libra freaking suns, Libra placements an upper hand in whatever area of life it's in, because people around you really mirror you. They mirror your needs, your hidden needs. They mirror your unspoken desires. You know, they mirror things that you actually need to act on. And so I just feel like relationships are teachers for you. And that's, like I said, that kind of gives you an upper hand because, you know, some of us are just in life and we're just like, damn, that was a harsh lesson. But you're actually being shown lessons to other people, and we're always connecting with people, we're always meeting people, people are always there, you know. So it's like Libra would never really be alone, which is a good thing because that's not what we're meant for. And so relationships, as I said, they become, you know, teachers. And if something falls away during this time, meaning people, you know, even places or things, it's making room for this genuine balance or genuine connection. And you're going to feel your heart craving more depth over harmony. And of course, it's a harmonious flow, right? If we talk about a trine, especially a grand water trine, is definitely trying to fulfill your emotional needs. And you know, it's trying to really have you be stable within your emotional body and find real peace, you know, in connection and not in performance, Libra. I think that this try and really get you to see that you don't have to really perform in order to connect with people. You don't have to perform in order to create a, you know, a deeper connection with someone. And you don't have to hide away yourself and the true identity of who you are, even who you're going into, in order to appease another person. And the heart is really going to crave authentic connection. It's gonna crave balance, of course. It's gonna crave harmony, but not at the sacrifice of you, Libra. If it has to sacrifice you or any part of you without compromise, because you're the sign of compromise and, you know, give and take, then it isn't for you. And I think that it's more beautifully, like, you know, sold together and not so harsh. It's like, you know, no one is really mad to leave connections. They just leave karmically, if that makes sense, right? Because we're talking about Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. If this is a karmic pattern or a karmic past or a karmic person or a karmic thing, it's going to leave gradually out your life to where it gives you grace, Libra. You know, you give yourself grace and you give the other people grace, because you're going to meet so many different people in your life that I promise you that whatever clears away during this time or is shown to you is the universe's way of revealing something to you in the most kind and passionate way that it can. Like, your heart is really craving something, and you have to give your heart what it's craving, otherwise it aches, right, Libra? So definitely be mindful of those, you know, type of connections that you're making with other people. We know that Saturn is going to be opposite your sign, you know, in the next year, 2026. I talk about it a little bit in the beginning, but you're looking for more serious partners. And I mean serious, like they're willing to go somewhere with you. You elevate me, I elevate you. There's no more pretending to be with someone. And you know, that's kind of like your natural state of like, okay, if I sacrifice, like it's self-sacrifice for you, Libra. But now it's like, I don't have to self-sacrifice. I am really an amazing person, and other people will see that. And I even see that about myself. So it's like, I'm not shying away from who I am to keep a connection. And I think that's so liberating, Libra. And that's such a beautiful, as I keep saying, beautiful and harmonious soul. But really, you have all the charm, Libra, and you need to really believe in it, okay? So that's all I have for you, Libra. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Libra. Hey, Scorpio. So, Scorpio, you're going to have, like, let's just think about it. Like, I just want to scream, not scream to like be loud and obnoxious, but scream because you're a water sign. So you're going to be experiencing this very heavily, and you're going to have different planets in your sign, like Mars. You're going to have Mercury in your sign. Like, this is you, okay? This is you, you know, this is Pisces and this is Cancer. What a beautiful flow for you. What a beautiful rebirth for you, right? And even starting in your season, right? Going into Sagittarius, like I'm saying right, but you're going to say right like after this is over, because you're going to feel so much more liberated. And that's what you honestly need. Like, emotional mastery is going to be your best friend, Scorpio. And if you can freaking master your emotions you can master this world. You literally become a self-master. And I think that this trine is like really amplifying your magnetism and your healing powers. And like that's why I want to scream, because we need that in life, you know, and you're getting that in life. It's like you have this ability, and in like controlling our emotions, and not even controlling them, but becoming one with them, understanding them, taking the signs as teachers and signals. This really lets old pain finally like releases hold on us. And that is what you're going to be experiencing, you know, Scorpio. Like there's pain is inevitable, right? Okay. But growth is freaking permanent. Like the growth is permanent, and you're gonna feel like your psychic powers that you know, let's just say like spiritual psychosis, right? Those things are shedding, you know, but your psychic abilities are actually amplifying. And they're not the ones that are driving you insane. They're the ones that bring up this like death of the old self and the renewal of your emotional core. So it's very revealing. You know, this is your element, water, memory. You know what I'm saying? Like this is holding so much for you, and it's definitely internal that I can't really explain it. You know, I can just feel it. And so that's why it makes me want to scream in a good way, because it's like, yes, like I can scream from the top of a mountain for you, Scorpio. And I think that this transformation is going to ultimately bring softness, and you're going to see that softness is not weakness. My emotions are actually not weak. I'm just smart when it comes to emotions, and that's not always something that's in the mind, right? This is our intuition we're talking about. This is our ancestral powers that we're talking about. We're talking about your power, right, Scorpio? Because you're the sign of power, and it's like having all this power, what do I do with this? Sometimes people go crazy, right? People go crazy because it's like knowing things that other people don't know, or as soon as you meet someone, you're dealing with their shame and their trauma and this manipulation, and it's like driving you crazy. You're like, I know what I know. You can't out tell me what I feel. And so this is the time when you're, like I said, because Mercury's going to be in your sign, you're able to explain these things. And these things go very, very deep for you, Scorpio. So please just be very open, even though you will. But allow this rebirth to happen, because mastery of the self, oh my God, like how much you can be pushed forward in life. You know what I'm saying? And you have Saturn in this, you have Neptune in this as well, and even Jupiter. So teaching you so much, but this is a permanent upgrade. As I said, growth is permanent, and pain is inevitable. It is going to be okay, Scorpio. Trust me. This is a great water trine for you, and I'm so happy. Yes, I'm not screaming. I'm not going to scream over here, but I hope that you really take this time to let the universe move you, and even let yourself move you, and forgive yourself for past versions of the self, even though they were much, much needed. And yes, that is all I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that made sense. I definitely was over explaining a little bit, but I hope that you get what I'm saying. And I think that you will, because you're going to be able to articulate your own psychic abilities, and what you do with them, and what you see with them, and what's an illusion and what's not, and what's spiritual psychosis. And definitely don't forget to like ground yourself, you know, during this time, and take a lot of baths if you can, and showers, and cleanse your energy, and do your mantras. But more, I wouldn't say do your mantras. I would say like using sage, or using and like, you know, Santo Palo, and just like protecting your own energy and protecting yourself, you know, from outside forces of feeling, because this is an emotional wave. So it's like gonna hit, you know, the water signs like a wave, you know. So yes, Scorpio, again, that's all I have. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Scorpio. Hey there, Sagittarius. We have our grand water trine, and you are fire. Your element is fire, but you're going to be beautifully graced and gifted as well during this trine. And if you haven't gone to watch the first part of the video, definitely go ahead and do that, because I go over what a grand trine actually means. And it's a perfect triangle at 120 degrees in the water signs of Pisces, which is, you know, your shared ruler, your shared sign. Well, you guys share the same ruler, and also Cancer and Scorpio. So This trine is going to bring faith through feeling. You know how something about a Sagittarius is very high up there. And I mean, high, not higher up there like you're looking down at other people, but it's just like life is a little bit easier for Sagittarius risings, because they practice what they if they practice what they preach. They come here with so much ancient knowledge, and they get a chance to really explore the world and explore different perspectives and philosophy of the world, which is amazing, right? But life is going to slow you down a little bit, just enough to listen to what your heart is chattering and chittering about. It's really trying to get you to confront these emotional truths that replace philosophies, because we can feel, but there's also philosophy of life. Like, what does that feeling mean? Instead of actually feeling it, we are in a humanoid experience, as I like to say, but we are spiritual beings. We're just not a body. I could talk about that for a long time. I'm pretty sure, Sagittarius, that you have a perspective on that. You can probably enlighten me on that too. But your sign does deal with enlightenment, and so you will have reasons to sometimes, like, you'll have reasons to cry, or you might even not know why you are wanting to cry, if that makes sense, right? Because it's like I said, you can look for philosophy to understand why you feel like that. You could be educated on what feelings actually do, or mental illnesses and all that different stuff. And even having the education, it doesn't stop you from feeling it. So you have to really deepen your spiritual meaning of life, even within yourself. You are living in an experience, as I said, and the universe just isn't out there. It's not out anywhere. It's actually within you. It's inside of the feeling of your body. It's inside. I think you will definitely understand what I'm saying, Sagittarius, right? It's like the universe is within you. And whatever is in you is without you, right? You see what's in the inside on the outside. And that is always true. So you have to keep that philosophy as well. But there's a reason for everything. Like, yes, reason why we meet this person, why we see this person, why we talk to this person. But this is going to make you feel so much lighter at the end of the day, because realizing that it first starts with you, with what you say, with what you preach, or what you learn, and your experience and your soul's development. It's not even about helping people by preaching. It's about helping yourself by teaching. You can learn from other people as well, right? And as I said, Jupiter is also involved in this, which is your ruler, and it's in Cancer. It's an exalted sign. So this is a very heart opening thing for you. Heart opening trine, mind opening trine. Like, your perspective and perception shifts so much when your emotions are truly felt and fueled through. Healing becomes a little bit more graceful for you, Sagittarius. So really take the time to feel what this feels like. When you go somewhere, or you travel, or you see something, feel it instead of trying to learn what it is, if that makes sense. Just experience it and take the adventures to explore your emotions, and explore your emotions before you explore someone else's emotions, Sagittarius. But yes, just exploring your emotional body with the capacity for it to grow, for it to deepen. And of course, you're going to add your little, you're going to add that spiritual understanding of it, because that's just who you are, just how you're operating here. But all of these things can really deepen the way that you see the world, but you have to go deep inside of what you actually feel from the world that you're experiencing, Sagittarius. So yes, that is the best way that I can describe it. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you definitely understand me, Sagittarius. So yes, I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Hey there, Capricorn. So Capricorn, this grand trine, definitely go ahead and watch the beginning of the video. I go over what a grand trine actually means. It is 120 degrees apart from each water sign. We have Pisces, we have Neptune is going to be in it too, but we have Scorpio, and we also have Cancer, and your ruler, which is Saturn, is involved in this trine. So of course you're going to be affected, and I think these are long lasting and long overdue effects. Emotionally, you know that Cancer is your seventh house, and we know that you know how to feel, but that charging forward, you know, you have to take responsibility for your emotions and your softness that you do have, Capricorn. It is within you. It truly is. Even though it seems like it's a reflection of you, it is you as well. You can feel. And even though you can probably articulate how you feel better than others, you know, instead of actually feeling it, I think that you have to face your suppressed emotions, and even that things that feel like old burdens, you know, that you have carried alone. And I'm not saying put that on the next person, but I'm saying that you don't have to do things alone, right? Yeah, I mean, Saturn, of course, you know, wants to sit alone, is very fearful of what, you know, people who don't take responsibility for certain things, you know, they don't put in work in life, and that just doesn't really make sense to people. But you showing up, you know, through your work and life balance, even your family dynamics come into play, and relationships, like all of these things, what they truly ask you for, Capricorn, is vulnerability, is having empathy, and even having empathy for yourself, you know, that can, in I almost say, please don't have sympathy for yourself, but definitely have empathy for yourself, and let others hold space for you, even though, you know, it can be hard for you, but definitely hold space for yourself. There's gonna be, you know, because Jupiter is in your seventh house, of course you're seeing a lot of reflective patterns from other people. You know, your true power is coming from this emotional openness during this time, this 6 weeks. During this time, like, really pay attention to how other people feel and how they articulate their emotions, and to what causes them pain and hurt, and how they bring up memories. I think that it can teach you a lot about how you can open yourself up to your emotions to actually have them work for you. They're not a scary thing, Capricorn. I mean, what did I just say, right? They are a scary thing, but we all feel them. And so, but some of us can say, damn, like, I'm that hurt me. But other people are just like, oh, okay, I'll do it by myself. You don't want to do it, I do it alone. I don't have time to really be vulnerable with you because I have something to do. But sometimes you do have to be vulnerable, because that's what people need from you, especially people in relationships. And Cancer, your seventh house is being activated with Jupiter. You're learning through deep wisdom and deep understanding. So if you can change your perspective a little bit, especially with on yourself, and giving yourself a bit more grace to experience growth, Capricorn, I think that you can move forward in a happier way, like a happier way within yourself. Like you're sitting in the suit and tie, but you're sitting comfortably, you know what I'm saying? And I think that there's a lot of, because Saturn isn't here, there's a lot of weight with on your mind, but also it feels like there's a lot of weight on your body as well. So move your energy around, Capricorn. Try to work out, try to walk, try to move your feet around, if that makes sense. You know, if you can spend time by mountains, that'll be good as well. You know, go on a hike or something. You can really clear this space for this growing Capricorn that you are, and you're growing into vulnerability, and not shutting yourself off from that, because that can bring in so much more wealth within the self, within the outside world, when you're able to feel and heal through things that you have experienced, and not just put them away, because you're not going to let them bury you. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to let them burden you. You're going to allow them to liberate you and let them go, Capricorn. So yes, that's all I have for you. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Capricorn. Hey, Aquarius. We're talking about the grand water trine. And if you haven't gone to watch the first part of the video, definitely go ahead and do that, because I go over what this grand trine means for your sign. Okay. Right? Like, okay, Aquarius. There's just so many things going on, but like, your sign is extremely unique and one of a kind. So I'm just gonna start talking about, you and what you're going to experience during this very graceful trine. I think that this trine is very heart opening, heart awakening for you. Aquarius, like this trine really is going to break your detachment. It's going to have you flowing with empathy. Like it's honestly going to feel like a flood. This is a flood of empathy and compassion and intuition coming to you. But it's such a graceful one, something that makes you happy cry, Aquarius. And these like people may like surprise you with their emotions, and the role that you feel towards them can even surprise you as well. It's like your friendships, your communities, and people around you. It deepens. It's so happy, son, because you're opening yourself up, and the more that your heart is opening and becoming more compassionate, and you listening to your intuition, where you're allowing these things to actually flow towards you. Even these can be karmic debts that other people are paying to you, right, in some type of way. But these are the positive karmic debts, like memories. Let these things make you happy, happy cry. Like you're really becoming this bridge between love and logic and thinking and expansion, and compassion is truly your best friend, Aquarius. So as you go around during this next, 6 weeks to 7 weeks, definitely have your heart open. And that doesn't mean allow everything to happen, but it means gracefully feel as selfless as you can about yourself and about other people. Emotional people don't, let's just say, people, you have to discover emotional intelligence, if that makes sense. And I think that that is what's coming under this grand trine. Your emotional intelligence is within your heart, but if you never allow your heart to feel, you never allow your heart to heal, you never are connecting to anyone, and you're detached and you're disconnected from someone, it's very hard to heal from things that you were detached from, if that makes sense. I think that it does make sense. It makes sense in my head, because if you have empathy for the next person, or people show empathy for you, it's kind of like you don't need to not give a F, because if you give a F about yourself, you definitely give a F about everyone else around you. Whether you're showing it or not, or whether you're allowing it, or whether you're caging in the fucks to give. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether you are really expanding yourself to have more heart-centered and heartfelt friendships, and more heartfelt conversations with other people, and from yourself, deeper conversations and communities, and like just let other people move you, and you will be surprised at how you can move other people with your words and the things that you say and the things that you ground yourself, even the dreams that you have. And I mean, by like long-term dreams and goals and stuff, because your traditional ruler of Saturn is involved in this as well. So it's like, Aquarius, this is an upgrade in some sort, but allowing yourself to feel without feeling like I should be alone, or I should do things alone, or I'm only here for this thing. Allowing yourself to hear other people's stories, tell your story, connect with other people, make new friends, make new connections. I think that you'll break through so much, maybe even learn emotional mastery over something. Even when it comes to friendships, there's a give and take. How much do you give and take in friendships? And that's something that you can learn. Like, what are you willing to give? You're willing to give more during this time to the next person, in order to understand and explore yourself a bit more, Aquarius. So please expect a heart awakening moments. And I think that it's definitely needed, or it's definitely feeling like, it's like that aha moment, right? Where it's like, when I connect with someone, I can actually be taking places, and taking places is not always physical. It's very eternal. We're talking about water signs, but this is inside of us, and these things all weave together, and we have to really think about so-called humanity or the collective consciousness as something to explore, other than something to always change all the time. Yes, there is need for change, but there's so much to explore that is existing now that can really help us learn about ourselves right now, right this instant. And yes, Aquarius, yes, that makes sense to me. I hope that makes sense to you. That's all I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Aquarius. What's up, Pisces? So, Pisces, you are included in this grand water trine, and I'm so freaking happy for you because Neptune is back in your sign, which is included, and Saturn is back in your sign. If you haven't gone and watched the beginning of the video, definitely go watch that because you are the star, one of the stars, right, of this grand water trine, and this is very rare. So this is an harmonious aspect, and we're dealing with serious planets here, right? We're dealing with Jupiter that's in Cancer, which is a beautiful upgrade in our emotional capacity and even our way of seeing our emotions and ancestral patterns and things of that nature, because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, Saturn is in your sign giving you a freaking backbone, and also Neptune is going through your sign for the last in a lifetime. So these are experiences that are really meant to help you grow, and there's different planets that are going to be stationed in excuse me, I keep saying Sagittarius, but I mean Scorpio as a water sign. We have Mars and Mercury and things of that nature. And so they're all playing a part in this perfect 120-degree triangle that's going to be headed straight towards you in a divine flow. And this is an emotional overflow. And this is not something that you're not used to, Pisces. You are used to these things, and you are the most powerful right now than you've ever been. I mean, let's just all snap for freaking Pisces. Like, we have done something finally, right? Like, we have gotten up and done something. And not to say that we couldn't do anything, but everything is based in the past. When we deal with Pisces, it's karmic, it's really overbearing. Like, your emotions can really drown you in waters, and even in your own waters, and now you're freaking swimming through these waters. You're choosing what is going in and out of these waters. Your waters are cleansing now. Please take a bath, take any time in water that you need to. Spend time in water, look at water, let these waves really flow through you. You are channeling during this time, Pisces. You're channeling, you're dreaming, you're healing. And remember, healing is an improved state. So you'll be healing for the rest of your life. But godly, if you can hear yourself, you can hear other people. Excuse me, you will feel everything, Pisces. And not that you feel it already. So it's like, it's not anything that's like overbearing. It's just something that makes you even more the powerful version, makes you more of the powerful version that you already are. You already were born to be. So you really have to protect yourself, protect your energy. You can rest, protect your art. And what I mean by protect your energy, sage, crystals. Tell yourself that whatever you are feeling right now, is it your own? Ask yourself questions, see how you feel about yourself, right? And even when it comes to praying, when it comes to meditation, make those things a part of your daily activity. They should be. Like, you are the high priestess of the zodiac. You have to meditate. You have to spend time channeling your own inner essence, Pisces. You are the divine in a humanoid body and form. Right? It goes very, very deep for Pisces. Even much hard to describe, but like I said, your ruler Neptune and your traditional ruler Jupiter, they're both involved in this. So you are just extremely powerful. I can't stress that enough. And whatever is showing up for you, your spiritual calling and things of that nature, these things become more tangible now for you, Pisces. If you want it, go get it. Go get it, because you have to get it. Like, especially with Saturn going back in your sign, it is telling you that it is there. But are you going to go get it? And don't let these emotions wave you down. Let them push you around. Like, let them push you towards what you actually want to get and make it tangible, and let it weave in these emotions and these tides and these memories and all of these things together to create something that is reachable and tangible for you. Okay, you're learning to hold love without losing yourself. Love is the highest frequencies. Pisces is made of love, right? Cancer, love. You have Scorpio, obsessed with love. You have Pisces, the divine filler of love. So love is the highest frequency, and love is unconditional, meaning that you can feel the you can feel the love of the highest creator form if you allow yourself to, right? This is something that you cannot lose yourself in or let other people lose you in. It's something that's always there no matter what choices you make, Pisces. And I think by remembering that, you will see that you don't need to lose yourself in order to feel love. And you are a very selfless sign. You know, I give that to you, Pisces. But putting all of these things together and including yourself, you know, include yourself in the consciousness and upgrade, and even include yourself in the downgrade that you could have experienced in some part of your life. There is an ultimate reason for it, right, Pisces? There's a reason for everything, and everything has its purpose, and everything happens just as it's supposed to. And because both of your rulers are involved in this grand water trine, I wish you nothing but the best and good luck, Pisces. Happy days and happy ways. So that's all I have for you, Pisces, and I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, Pisces.